When it comes to matters of the heart, I'm sure you have experienced silence before, right? So silence is always something people would opt to, and they be saying like, they for peace sake, they'd rather keep quiet. But how's about I tell you that conflict is actually better when it comes to silence and relationships. So you'd rather have that conflict and find out what's going on rather than keeping quiet and actually watch the relationship fade away. Let's talk about silence as the relationship killer and not conflict. Hi there, my name is Sophie Sitole, your life coach, your relationship coach, and your passionate motivational speaker. In today's video, we're talking once more about matters of the heart, right? So in relationships that you would find that in most cases, people opt to keep quiet, maintain their silence instead of actually having that conflict, having that heated conversation where you have to discuss whatever that's bothering you. All right, so what's happening in today's video is that I'm going to be showing you how silence can be the relationship keeper. So instead, to your surprise, you'd rather opt for that conflict and discuss things in that heated conversation, but it has to be done right. How so? Stick with me, I'm going to tell you how. So in most cases, people opt for silence because they are avoiding conflict and they saying that they want to maintain peace. I'm sure you've also heard someone saying that, or maybe you've said it yourself to say, for peace sake, I'd rather keep quiet. But how's about I tell you that that's the one thing that actually leads to relationship fading away. So what you need to be doing is that you need to remember that that conflict, that heated conversation, it's the one that's going to help the relationship at the end of the day. Because remember, if you quiet, you just actually making sure that you and your partner are drifting apart, and once you drift apart, unfortunately there isn't a comeback from that. So the best thing ever is to rather have that conversation and find out what is the problem so that it can be resolved. All right, so is conflict good? Yes, but if it's done in the right way. All right, so when you're having that heated conversation, the one that you're saying is conflict, where you are saying that you're fighting and you don't want to fight with your partner, because we've been taught that no fighting means peace. But is it like that always? Think about it. So what happens is that when you're having that conflict with your partner, you have to make sure that respect is maintained. You have to make sure that whatever you are addressing in a manner that love is still within the conversation, because you love your partner, right? Yeah, I think you love your partner, but you know the answer. So when you having that conflict with your partner, make sure that the respect is maintained. You are fighting for the relationship with love, which is very, very important. So every time when you discuss things in the heated conversation, make sure that you remind yourself that whatever that you're saying, it's something that you're thinking about quickly. Because remember, if you're just saying things and not thinking about it, you might say something that you'll regret at the end of the day. So conflict is good if it's done right, with respect and with love. The other thing that you can gain out of conflict, it sounds strange, right? So you think that conflict has no good result at the end of the day, but today I'm here to tell you that you can actually achieve a whole lot for your relationship out of conflict. So what you do is that when you having that heated conversation, you actually check the manner in which you address things. All right, instead of saying that you are always doing 1 2 3 4, rather say I feel like I'm not heard or something like that. So the manner in which you're saying things is the one that's going to make sure that at the end of the day, you and your partner keep the bond together. So make sure that you address things in a correct manner, even if you can hear that you are heated now. So make sure that you address things instead of silence, because remember, I've already said silence is the relationship killer. So the other thing that you can do is to know from today that within a conflict, that's where you are getting that window through your partner's life. Because when they're expressing things out of anger, out of frustration, that's when they're saying things that they've been keeping for the longest time. So rather give them an ear, understand where they're coming from, so that you can hear why they've been silent if they have been silent, and why they've been so angry if they are that angry. So that's how you're going to understand them better. And what does that do at the end of the day? It keeps you guys both bonded closer than you were before, because now you know what's been bothering them, you know what's been bugging them, and actually you can come up with a solution together to say, if this is the situation, how do we deal with it going forward? All right, so before I give you more tips, I'm gonna ask you to pause this video, go in the comment field and tell me, what is the one thing that you have left unsaid that should you have said it, things were gonna be different in your relationship? You can share with me. I mean, you can practice with me. Once you know that you're able to can tell me, then definitely you'll be able to go back and share with your partner. Please share with me, what is the one thing that you have left unsaid that you know that should you have said it, the relationship was gonna be bonded together closer than it would have been now that you haven't said it? Okay, now that you've shared, let's go on with it, because I've got more exciting tips that's gonna make sure that your relationship keeps the spark going. All right, so the other thing is that every time when you are having that heated conversation that I'm encouraging now, is that make sure that you are fighting for the relationship, fighting with love, and making sure that in that heated conversation, when you hear that now you cannot go on anymore, rather say it nicely. Instead of storming out, just say to your partner, let's take a break and then come back stronger so that we can continue with it. All right, instead of storming out and not saying anything, rather say to your partner, let's take a break for a minute or two, and then when we come back, we're gonna come back maybe calmer but definitely stronger, so that we can continue with the conversation and build a relationship, because you do love your partner, right? So once you've done that, you will see when you come back to have that conversation, they'll know that you needed a break, and that on its own also say that this person has something that is not sitting well with them, and then that's where they're gonna see that they need to give you an ear where you can sit and discuss things further. At the end of the day, once you've made sure that you've discussed whatever that has been keeping you away from each other, you're gonna see that you're gonna come out stronger, and remind yourselves that with every conflict that you are having, you are making sure that you're building the relationship, because that's the whole idea. Rather talk things out than having to leave them in silence and break the bond between the two of you. So you continue with the conversation, remember, with respect, remember, with love, and in a calm manner, where you'll be choosing your words to say this is how you speak to your partner, because you love and respect them at the end of the day. And you will see, once that is sorted, the relationship's gonna go forward with respect. So at the end, I just like to say to you that speak up. Instead of you bottling things in, speak up, and you will see the relationship is gonna blossom at the end of the day. Make sure that you say everything. If you feel unheard, make sure that you express yourself. If you feel like you've been bottling things, make sure that you sit with your partner and discuss things, and make sure that the relationship goes forth with respect. And don't forget, you also have your relationship coach that you can consult with if you feel like you're not getting to a conclusion, because help is always there. At the end of the day, I just want to say to you, silent can be a relationship killer. So the best thing is to have a conflict, but have it in a right manner where you're gonna achieve your goal at the end of the day. With that said, I'd like you to please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and make sure that you follow. Don't forget to share, of course. Remember, you can shine brighter, and out.